Hello and welcome, friends. It's been a long time. It's great to see you all here. Sorry I haven't been around making weekly videos recently. Had a little bit of computer problems, and the new kid coming on the way, it kind of has been prioritized here. But great news is I am up and running again, and we're going to jump into an awesome video this week. I'm going to show you a little bit of my methodology, where I find all the pictures that you guys asked for, where's some good sources to do your own research, and what do I look for in the pictures. As you see here, I got a couple photos pulled up here now. These are some of the obvious photo manipulations that you'll see when you start looking through various different sources. I believe this one was just found on Pinterest, among all others. But you can see right here, just the clear, kind of sloppy Photoshop job, sloppy old school photo editing, whatever it was. But you can see how they just tried to trim all around the edge. And this was from a World's Fair in Omaha, Nebraska. And what do they cover up in the skies? I don't know if you've seen my previous video on it. I believe they're covering up airships and other magnificent flying craft that they already had done. Take a look at another obvious one here. You can see they just kind of sloppily trimmed right around here. And when you zoom in, you can see that line going all the way up that tower here. This is in Berlin, I believe. You just clearly see where they chopped out all the skies. Now they say the whited out skies are from overexposure, which I've shown many times where that's not the case. Here's another one. But let's back up a little bit before we get too far off the rails with the whited out skies. Main purpose of this video is to kind of give you an overview, how to, point you in the right direction to do some of your own research, because that's really one of the biggest parts of the awakening process. You can listen to any bloke talking on a microphone, any YouTube video, any TikTok video. They can tell you what they think it is, but really seeing is believing. And, fact check what you hear. Don't just take one source for it. Don't just, listen to one expert or perceived expert. That's part of the reason why we've gotten into this mess we're in the last several years especially. But I believe in free and independent thinkers. I believe that'll provide us the cornerstone. That, a nuclear family, free and open dialogue, being able to question the narrative. So, I'm going to show you just a few sites that I like to frequent. Some that might surprise you, and to show you a little bit of, the tools of the trade, if it were. At least, how I go about collecting and researching down my many rabbit holes myself. So I got a few bookmark tabs here saved. One of the greatest sources that I've had is digital archives of libraries. New York Public Library being an excellent example. They'll have many random categories, scrapbooks of New York City views. And here just provides a very beautiful treasure trove of old world documents, old world images. And some are obviously scrubbed, but I don't think they realize the awakening that's been going on, the scrutiny with not just the day-to-day narrative, the modern events, But we're taking that scrutiny and that ever-observant eye, and we're applying it to many things, and our history being one of them. As more are waking up to the fact that they really have lied to us about everything, the more people are digging themselves, the more people are finding things their own, and then they're sharing it with the group, the collective, and it grows stronger and stronger every day, folks. So we'll just take this random picture of from the old shot tower in Beekman Street. You can get a lot of details on this right from the controller's narrative. Say it's between 1850 and 1945 it was released. Doesn't look like they give us an exact date, which you always find interesting, little holes in their stories. But when you go to sites like this, they always give you, free download options, so we can download at maximum resolution. Go ahead and take a look. Honestly, one thing to me that stands up, and particularly with this photo, is everything else just kind of seems like a fake backdrop. If you look at, everything here, and then just the alleged start of the construction for the Roosevelt Street ferry bridge or whatever. But everything else just seems like a complete different contrast almost compared to this. But I don't know. That's just my opinion. What we deal with here is just collecting the scraps and the pieces that we can find of the old world, and trying to make the most educated guesses and conclusions that we can and come together as a group. That's why I always say question everything. That includes me. Let me know what you guys think of this picture, though. It's a pretty interesting one. So usually what I would do in this spot, not launch Steam, but depending, what I would do with this photo then is add it to my ever-growing collection, mostly sorted. And I got architecture here and New York. A couple from New York that I've sorted through. What I look for, like one of the first things I do anytime I get a new photo, we'll just use this one as an example, is I kind of try and zoom in as far as it will let me, or at least as far as I can start making details. And here you go, right here. You'll see just oddities in the photo. Oddities that almost look digitized while it should be, standard old world cameras. Or, kind of photo cutting or whatever style they would do there. You can see that actually at this photo in random, and I didn't really even look at this photo too closely ever, but you can see a lot of that kind of fuzziness that follows all the way around these building lines, of course leading us with a blank sky. I believe this was in the 1800s. You can see no cars or anything, all horse-drawn carriages, so they'll say the whited out skies are for long exposure, and that's also why we don't see people until we see people. And, can see them pretty much clear as day with very little blur to them. You would expect to see that with many city scenes, but not here apparently. Just look at these giant streets. Even with this amount of people, it still doesn't look full. And all these signs, they look like they're just almost plastered on after the fact. These giant towers, and that's where I always spot details. Like there you go, right there, those little wavy lines, almost like a digital cut and paste job. It's like this whole building's just been cut and paste onto a blank background. So, look, you got a mooring station here, all these places, free energy ether towers, and they're all kind of just cut out. But anyways, and back to this picture. So we'll save that picture in an archive, and I just add to a constant collection here. You can see many different categories and whatnot, anything from airships. and I have them all. You've probably seen some of these in my last video. Mudflood, giants. And that's what I do. I kind of try and categorize and, archive everything the best that I can. Because in the digital age, it's a constant ongoing battle of them, deleting and rewriting the narrative and removing things from sites that contradict with their current views. And, anything that's on the internet or the cloud can be deleted forever. I have this all backed up. My own personal recommendation is I have this all backed up on OneDrive. I also have this all on an external hard drive as well. I have several gigabytes, probably several terabytes almost, of just photos and videos from numerous different collections over the years. And most of these aren't even like sorted at all. These are all just kind of what I've done in my free time. Giants, we got giant books. So that is one way that, I've been able to save all these photos over the years from sites like, the New York Public Library, just scrolling through their digital archives, things that stood out to me. Even if nothing looks odd, they're still just beautiful pictures of a time lost to us. The best we can do to collect this history, we'll never know half of the true story. We can only hope to, keep collecting it, keep expanding upon it, and pass it down to the next generation. Let's not let our government-funded education centers teach us their version of history. But sliding around from digging through each individual photo on New York Public Library, needless to say, it's a great source. I have plenty of other ones here. Internet Archive, another great, archive.org. Another great site. You can find websites, books, videos, audio, images. You can find them by different dates, different periods. They have all different types of search avenues and sites similar to, like New York Public Library and stuff, digital databases, California Digital Library. I believe that's what led me to this one site, Water and Power Associates here. And this is just early Los Angeles. You can find tons of great old world photos of LA here, all from the 1800s. Dozens and dozens of great pictures from the areas. That's a very beautiful, interesting picture alone here. Oh, we'll save that one. Download it. But some of the other sources you guys might not think. I like Pinterest a lot. Reason why, it kind of builds an algorithm based off of what you search and click for. Now here you can type in things like mudflood, Genghis Khan, Tartaria, and you'll get a lot of people that post and upload things with those hashtags, and it'll take you down many different avenues and rabbit holes. And you click on one like a giant photo here, you'll find even more giants, and it gives us the options here again to save these images so we can add them to our ever-growing catalog and sort them in there later. But again, it just takes you down many different routes. From Tartaria we went to giants. Oh, look at this pyramid here. I've known this is from New York. Yeah, New York 1918. And it's just German soldiers' helmets that they eerily arranged in the shape of a pyramid. And again, just odd, interesting photos. I know I have one of those already, but save it again here so it's up top for me. You'll see people showing free energy architecture examples, images and memes, and it kind of collectively grows. And it takes you down all different avenues. From Tartaria, we were at the Giants. Here's a great mudflood, 1880s green street flow, and follow some of these creators, and it'll build, more to explore. Your page will continue expanding from there based on what you interact, much like, Instagram, TikTok works. Instead of videos, you get, curated photos. Then you also get access to some of these sites. Like, this came from Stolen History. I visited this and read quite a bit on these sites. This Corbin Dallas person, great researcher. He's made a lot of good articles. And this is kind of just like a forum site of hidden history. Find a lot of stuff there. This is supposed to be, of course, a new construction, looking very old, and you can see all the piled up dirt right on there, and that little very flimsy ledge they're calling the entrance. But like I said, and every time you go back home, refresh it, it's going to take you to a whole new set of photos based on, what you've been interacting with. So the more and more you see, the more and more it curates, and you find some great creators on Pinterest as well. And with that, so now that we got all these photos from Pinterest and various other sources, all the mudflood, and you're having fun saving all the mudflood and giant photos, how do you verify their their accuracy, where they came from? Well, there's several different sites. There's what I like to use is, a reverse image search. There's also, AI detectors and stuff like that. But the best tool to use out of all of those is your own personal discernment. Look at the image, verify who it's coming from, what the context of it is, and ultimately you have to make the decision for yourself. See if you can, verify multiple sources and where it's coming from. But sometimes you'll get a photo even on reverse image search that's only showed up a few times. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's real or not. It just means that it's only been uploaded a few times on the internet. But Google Lens, a great tool for your mobile device. Just pulling up a Google browser though on your desktop, just click on one of the images that we've pulled up here. Let's see, that New York one, for example, we can use that. And that's just going to give us an option to find the image source. And here we go. We got different sites where it came from. It's like Lower Manhattan Brooklyn Bridge, 1876, same as we were given from the original source. So it's the easiest way I've found to verify authenticity. You'll find authenticity, sorry. You'll find many different sites and sources like this, but again, like I said, your biggest tool is your own personal discernment. Look for extra limbs or odd expressions for signs of AI, but really, tools to deceive us are being developed as rapidly as they can. And part of this whole AI kick, I believe, is to throw off the truth-seeking movement. So always use your own personal discernment while you question everything, friends. But one of the last places I take you, show you some of my sources, and believe me, there are tons of more. If you guys like a follow-up video to this, going over any of the details I cover, can absolutely do that. Just let me know in the comments. But Telegram is a great social media tool where, and this is kind of the desktop version of it. You can get it on your smartphone as well. There's many great truth-seeking channels of all sorts. And then these are just, some of the ones as you see me scrolling through here that I've collected over the years. Tartaria Netherlands, love that page. They're a page focused on, as it seems, Tartaria and primarily the Netherlands. They got all kinds of great stuff on their page as well, though. And look at these great scenes, old photos in. Hey, look, if you take a look at that photo, let's go back to that because I think I've seen a little bit of alteration on that. Let's save it. And let's open it on the desktop here. There we go. Oh yeah. You zoom in and you start seeing that tried and true manipulation line, the little digital sloppy cuts all across the structures, hiding out obviously the whited out skies. Look at those big ether antennas. But getting back to that on hand, so I also have a great Telegram page. If you guys ever want more information on the stuff I post, it's a great page to try and get a hold of me. I know a lot of you people send me great messages. I try to get to them, but honestly, they're kind of a massive pile, and the times that I do have, I try and get to as many as I can, but Telegram's a great way to, try and catch me on the fly. It's where I post all my videos and content from all my other pages, but it's also where I post some of the pictures, so you can download freely the pictures that I use in a lot of my videos. It's also grown as quite a big chat channel where people will throw their own views, their own sources, their own opinions, and discuss the topics at hand. Tartaria, Brazil, another great site. Of course, as it sounds, Tartaria in the Brazil area, but I've followed this page for many years, and they always have great information from all over. And, sometimes the language might be different from English or whatever your native tongue is, but there's options where you can translate it right from the smartphone app. You can translate it into English or whatever language. You can download images on a lot of these and, find great like-minded individuals who also like to search for the truth. Well, I hope that helps kind of show you guys a little bit of where I get my photos from, all the sources I have over the years. Like I showed you in that file, I've gotten thousands and thousands of photos from all different categories. I thought about making it like a USB drive and offering it up for sale on a site or something. I don't know if you guys be interested in that. I'd of course have to spend a little more time sorting through it as well, make sure you guys get the best images and, bang for your buck. But if you guys would be interested in that, I could, definitely buy some USB drives or something in mass and, provide all the many years of research and digging that I've collected and provided to you guys. I haven't really went through with it just because I hate ever asking for money or anything like that. The most you'll ever see me here, I don't hawk any products or supplements or anything like that. The most you'll ever see is me pushing my buy me a coffee site if you guys want to contribute to the channel. I never make it feel like an obligation or anything like that. I never put any of my content behind paywalls. It'll always be free and free to download. Like I said, my Telegram page is a great page to do that. But I think I will leave it there for this video. I hope you guys again enjoyed it and learned a few things. If you have any questions about where I get things, or if you want a follow-up video on anything, just let me know in the comments. And make sure to like, subscribe and comment on this video. It does certainly help me out a lot. I appreciate all you guys following this channel over the years and your many great contributions. Until next time, friends, question everything and have a great rest of your week.